everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to take you step by step on how I paint this roughly 8 by 8 inch wooden square. I'm going to try to show you everything I do, but I'll put in really good chapters if you need to skip the basics or you just need to navigate to where you need to go. The first thing I'm going to do is use some spackle to plug in these ugly nail holes. I don't like them and I don't want them on my mandala. So I'm just going to rub it in with my finger and then wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Now don't worry about writing down all the supplies. I'm going to leave you a full list and all the links down in the description. I'll also throw in some helpful videos for you too. Now I noticed while I was doing this that this surface was really rocking. I know it's because of this wall hanger on the back, so I'm going to do myself a little favor, get my little screwdriver, and I'm going to remove it. I'll tape all the pieces together so I don't lose them between now and when this is finished. Alright, I think this surface looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and remove the rest of the label here on the back because I will be painting the back as well. Alright, you guys, let's get started. The first thing I want to paint on here is a good thick layer of gesso. I'm just going to squirt some out on the wood. I'm going to use this big flat brush and I am going to give it a really good coat. Gesso is a really good product to use on wood because it gives your paint something to adhere to. It's like a primer and it doesn't let the wood just soak up all of your paint. So today I want to be sure to do this really well because I don't want any excuses for failure when it comes to my new Puffy Dots. Yep, that's right. If you guys watched last week's video, you know I was sowing the seeds for Puffy Dots. And what better way to harvest them than a fall mandala. You guys, I can't wait to get started. If you missed that video, I'm going to link it down below. I'll put a little link right here in the corner and you can watch that as well. So after this gesso is on here, I will let it dry overnight just to be sure. Tomorrow, I'll come back and I'll put one coat of black paint on both the front and the back. Let me show you. Now that everything is all dry, I'm going to peel this sticker off on the back and show you how I sign it. I figure people deserve to know what the wood looked like before I started, so I leave a little place like that. Okay, you guys, let's get the guidelines on this piece so that we can get to painting. I'm going to use my ruler as a flat edge, and I'm going to make a line from corner to corner. I'm going to put a big X in the middle of this square. Where the two lines intersect in the middle is my center. I'm going to mark that clearly with my watercolor pencil, and then I'm going to get out my favorite stencil from Happy Dotting Company. You guys can totally use a protractor. I'll put all the measurements up, but I love the stencil even more. I'm so much more accurate with it. It doesn't slip. It's just wonderful. But if you need to use a protractor, here's the measurements right down here in the corner. Now I'm going to use my flat edge again to pretty much play connect the dots. You guys get the picture. I'll fast forward through this part. Okay, now I'm going to get out my DIY compass. You guys, I have a whole video on how to make this and use this. I'll link it down in the description. Basically, this is something I created and it is going to act just like a compass. If you have a compass large enough to do these circles, all I'm doing is placing each new ring 1 centimeter apart. So just keep setting your compass 1 centimeter higher for each ring and you're going to have the same result. Today I'm going to be using 2 different paints on this fall mandala. The first color is Fire Coral. Y'all, this has been on my wish list for a long time and I want to thank Cheryl so much for making that wish come true. I cannot wait to get this bottle open and get to going. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I'm going to go ahead and give this bottle a good stir with my new little electric paint stirrer. Y'all, I know it looks like a little silly thing, but I just love it. I'll leave a link for it down in the description. Don't judge me. I hate pounding these bottles on my hands. Anyway, let's move along. Out of sheer habit, I poured that right into my paint palette. But first, I want to make a mixture of this, just like I did in my Puffy Dot video. I'm going to get out a squirt bottle and I'm going to get out my dedicated measuring cup. I'll be adding 2 teaspoons of this gorgeous Fire Coral paint. Y'all, I just can't wait to get this on the canvas. I think it is just so pretty. After that, I'll add 2.5 teaspoons of the heavy gloss gel. And then I'll finish it all up with 2 teaspoons of pouring medium. I'll get out my mixer and get it all stirred up together and ready to pour into that squirt bottle. So just to recap, here's the recipe that I used. If you need a little more help, the right measurements are all in this video. I'll link it down below, and I'm going to link it at the end of this video, so you're not going to miss it. I'm going to use my compass to just clean up this center circle. This is going to be the outline of my center puffy dot, so I'd like for it to be good and circular. I'm using my compass to do this, and I've set it at 1 centimeter. All right, now that all the hard work is done, you guys, let's paint. Cross your fingers and hold your breath. I know I'm gonna mess this up 100 times. It is my first time using the puffy dot on a surface other than that test page. So I know I'm gonna mess up, but it's only fair to bring y'all along with me since you were there when I discovered it. Let's get to painting. Oh, y'all, my paint is already starting to spread. What did I do wrong? I went back and watched my video from last week, and I found the problem. You guys, I can't even follow my own recipe. How funny is that? Basically, in last week's video, I used 1 teaspoon of paint, 1 teaspoon of pouring medium, and 1.5 teaspoons of the heavy gloss gel. Today, I upped it a little bit to make some more. I used 2 teaspoons of paint, 2 teaspoons of the pouring medium, but only 2.5 teaspoons of the heavy gloss gel. I should have used 3, and I think that would have kept it from spreading. I poured it into a long cylinder squirt bottle, so now even if I add that heavy gloss gel like a little bit more, I don't have anything that I could stir that with really well. So what I'm going to do instead is just leave the paint mixture like it is, and I'm just going to allow for a little bit of spread. Cross your fingers, you guys. I've made a huge mess already, and I'm trying like you know what to clean it up. Shoo, you guys, I didn't think I was going to be able to fix that. I'm going to finish out this mandala this way. I'll just remember to leave enough room for this mixture to spread. You know what though? Next time I get out all of the ingredients for my Puffy Dots, I sure bet I remember the recipe. It's weird how you always remember when things go wrong. So in a weird way, this was a blessing. I'll remember the right ingredients and the right measurements next time. All right, let's finish this mandala.
All right, y'all, this looks really good to me. I am going to go ahead and stop right here, and I'm going to let this dry overnight. And then I'm going to fill in all the gaps. I just really don't want to mess these up. And if they're wet and I'm trying to paint in between them, that could be a problem. So I'll see you back in just a flash.
All right, you guys, it is day 2, and I am so excited to report they look just like they did yesterday. Nothing sank, nothing changed. It's wonderful. So what I plan on doing is just adding some gold detail work because I love doing that. I want to keep the color scheme very simple so that this will just really blend in to any fall decor and just be a really elegant touch. You could set this on a table. You could hang it on a wall. It would just be gorgeous. So right now I'm adding a little bit of Flow Aid to my gold paint. That really helps me with my paintbrush work. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, it flows off the brush better. The lines go further. It's almost like it thins it out, but it doesn't water it down. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna try to draw some of my doodly fun lines that I love so much, and then I'm gonna paint right over them. So let's finish this thing up so we can enjoy it all month long. Here we go. So y'all, as I'm using this cotton swab to clean up my guidelines, I'm noticing that this center ring around this big, gorgeous puffy dot in the middle isn't coming off. I know it's where I messed up in the middle. It's all the leftover paint that I didn't clean up perfectly. I'm used to my dots being a lot tighter than this, and those things you can't typically see. So I'll have to go back and touch those up with the paintbrush, but no problem. Y'all just wipe gently and get all of these guidelines off, and we're about ready to finish this project up. Alright, I'm all finished removing the guidelines. I see a couple of places I want to touch up. So I'm going to get out that black Deco Art paint that I used as the base paint. I'm going to get out my fine line brush, and I'm just going to lightly touch up these tiny places. Alright, here's a full recap of all the supplies I used in this video. I left a full list of them down in the description, so you can click the description and you can screenshot that list. There's links attached to every single item, so you can easily find what you need. Let's get on to the final results. Oh my gosh, would you guys look at these dots? I couldn't be more proud. Seriously, I really got a lot of pushback when I said I wanted puffy dots out of my thin-bodied, fluid-bodied paint. And y'all, I got it. I love it so much. I hope you guys do too. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I still read every single one, and I always try to reply. I can't thank you guys enough for watching. Check out all the links and helpful videos down in the description. And I want you to watch this video right here if you missed it last week. It's a good one. Until next time, rock on.